What up, y'all? This is Tracy from Squish, and today we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite werewolves in pop culture. That's right! You heard it. We're talking about werewolves. It is no secret that I love werewolves. Vampires are tight, right? But like, if I had to pick one, werewolves are where it's at. So, we are going to be counting down my personal top 10 werewolves of pop culture. I need to stress the fact that this is not the best werewolf movies ever. It's not the coolest looking werewolves. It's not the best well written. It's not the best transformations. It's not any of that. I could do other videos about that. What this video is about is my favorite werewolves. For whatever reason that I may like them. So this video is probably gonna make some people mad. But you know what? If it makes you mad, I challenge you to do a top 10 werewolves. Because I just like to watch people talk about werewolves. So do it! Without further ado, let's get on into it. First of all, I want to say that it took me a very long time to actually number this. All of these characters I love. And it's very hard to condense them into this little list. Because every time I thought about it, I changed it and I changed it and I was like, you know what? Let's just go gut reactions, whatever. So as soon as I make this list and I upload this video, I'm gonna watch it the next day. I'll be like, number 2 should have been number 8. It's gonna happen. But just know that every single one on this list is near and dear to my heart. Number 10, Lou Garou from Wolf Cop. I realize Wolf Cop is a little ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I love ridiculous. My favorite type of movies are not serious movies. I like horror and I like comedies. So, hello, this movie was made for me. The idea of a dude that turns into werewolf, but he's a cop, so he's this crime-fighting werewolf cop that drinks beer? Why wouldn't someone love that? That is awesome! I like the look of this werewolf, the design of him, the makeup is beautiful. It's not CGI'd, it's practical effects. About that. Loving it, feeling it. Number 9 is Lucien from the Underworld series. I think the lichens in Underworld are beautiful. The first one, they did a lot of CGI in the transformation scenario, but the actual suits, the practical makeup and suits that they wear are beautiful, and I love Lucien's story. Specifically, Rise of the Lycans. I love that they expanded on it, showed you the full story. I think Lucien is a well-written, tragic character. Number 8 is Remus Lupin from the Harry Potter series. Now, I want to back this up. I hate the way they designed the werewolf in the movie. I do not like the look of it at all, but I love this character. He's one of my favorite characters from the book, and I like, besides the look of the actual werewolf, I love him in the movies. I think he's just, he's got a cool story. I love the Marauders in the Harry Potter series and their whole story. I would really love to see them do a whole movie just about them one day, but I just think he's the coolest. Again, guy that has a tragic story. I mean, what werewolf doesn't have a tragic story? But Remus is just cool, He looked out for Harry. It kind of almost got creepy in a sense, though, because he looked at Harry almost like he was James. Which is just really sad. Number 7 is Will Randall from Wolf. Now, Wolf is a very underrated movie. I feel like this movie does not get enough talk, but it should. Because to me, it's one of the best modern day representations of a werewolf. Also, Jack Nicholson, born to be a werewolf. He's already kind of got this crazy look. I don't know, but I really, really enjoyed the makeup that they had him in. As he, slowly transforms or whatever. And in that end scene where him and James Spader are fighting, that is one of the coolest werewolf fight scenes of all time. Number 6 is Scott Howard from Teen Wolf. And when I say Teen Wolf, I'm talking about this Teen Wolf, okay? Okay, 80s Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox, Teen Wolf. We're not talking about the MTV series. First of all, 80s. 80s are fun. Michael J. Fox is adorable. And him as this werewolf having this, it was very much like going along the lines of puberty and growing up and whatever. It's such a great story, and he plays it so well. Like that scene where he's like transforming in the bathroom and then he opens the door and his dad is just fuzz-faced out in front of him is amazing. I love that scene. I thought his makeup was really cool. It wasn't trying to be something like crazy, it was matching the type of movie it was. It was a comedy, more of a comedy. It's not a horror, it's not a monster movie. It's more along a teen movie, and to me, I thought his makeup was like a really good play on, the original Wolf makeups that you used to see back in the day, and I just thought it was really cool. Loved his character. Number 5 is Josh from Being Human, the US series. Now, Being Human, I realized it had like the UK version. I have never seen it, but the US series is probably one of my favorite television series of all time. It is just so well written. This show, it took monsters and related them to problems that everyday people had. And the way they did it is seamless. It is beautiful. And I think this is probably one of the best representations of what it would actually be like to struggle with lycanthropy. Then the whole story of where he meets Nora and, she becomes a werewolf and she struggles with it, goes back and forth. The whole thing is just, it's amazing. And the transformations, I thought were really well done. Like, they have a lot of practical, like really beautiful makeup and practical stuff that they're doing with the transformations. The actual werewolf is not, I didn't really like it. It's really badly CGI'd and to me really badly designed. But the in-between of the transformation to me was so cool. Love this show. Talking about it, I want to rewatch it all over again just so I can cry because it makes me cry. I don't know. I have a lot of feelings. Number 4 is David Kessler from An American Werewolf in London. Now, a lot of people are probably like, Tracy, why is American Werewolf in London at number 4 on your list? It's only the best representation, movie, whatever, werewolf thing of all time. Like I said, it's not about the movie. It's not about all that. It's about the actual character. Without a doubt. This is no secret. Everybody says this. Everybody knows this. The transformation scene in American Werewolf in London is one of the coolest things in cinema ever. It will never be replicated. It will never be outdone. Ever. David is adorable as this character that kind of, is seeing his friend, like, friggin' reanimated corpse just walking around talking to him, and I love the way he plays it. I love the way, especially the day after when he wakes up and he's, in the zoo, walking around in this lady's coat. Like, he does it well. He's part of the reason that we have one of the greatest transformation scenes of all time. Like, he brought that to life. So, he's tight. Number 3 is Ethan Chandler from Penny Dreadful. This one is kind of my current obsession right now. I watched Penny Dreadful for the first time, like, not that long ago, maybe like a year or two ago. Josh Hartnett playing this role is amazing. Josh Hartnett, I feel like this is different than a lot of roles that he's been in. He's always been kind of like, he was the early 2000s heartthrob. So he was putting in a lot of weird roles, like rom-coms and comedies and Pearl Harbor. Some of those things that I like, but like, I don't know. I just feel like there was potential to do something epic, and he never got those roles. He got that in this role. He comes in as this like gunslinging American. That was awesome. But then when you got the whole part where he's this werewolf, I mean, he played it so well. And the way that the werewolf is designed, I am obsessed. Like, I love it, because it's not like, oh, I've gone full wolf. It's not this like beast. It is, to me, like a beautiful callback to the old school werewolf makeup. Loving it, feeling it. Ethan Chandler, what's up? Love you. Number 2 is Lawrence Talbot from The Wolfman. I am gonna kind of roll both the 1941 Wolfman and the 2010 Wolfman into this one. I don't know if that's cheating. I thought about actually making these like 2 separate things, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna roll them all into one. Obviously, the Wolfman had to be on this list. You know, he's the reason that werewolves became popular and became this big thing, right? And he is so cool. The way Lon Chaney Jr. brought this to life, I think, is perfect. You know, first of all, Lon Chaney Jr. is just so entirely fascinating. Like, to hear his life story and how he struggled with acting, and, you know, he wasn't getting roles, and so he had to change his name to his father's name, blah, 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 blah. And his first breakout thing where people paid attention to him, like, really and truly, and what made him this horror icon was the Wolfman. And it's classic, it's beautiful. And the scenery in it is just that perfect, spooky, I love it, I love it. And then I'm rolling in the 2010 Wolfman because although overall it's not one of the best movies in the world, it's pretty good. It's to me, it's underrated. A lot of people, you know, talk bad on it, but it's actually a lot better than people give it credit for. The design of the werewolf is gorgeous. To me, it's like the perfect design of a werewolf ever. It's a shame that we didn't see more of the practical sides that Rick Baker did, that they, you know, threw away a lot of that stuff and put in CGI, because what we did see that was practical is lovely. It's beautiful. And again, like with the 2010 version, the scenery, the landscapes, like I think it's what a Wolfman movie needs, and I think it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And that scene of him in the freaking wherever they are, I don't know, are they still in the asylum at that point? And he's like, I will kill all of you, and then he just starts killing people. That's beautiful. Like, hilarious. One of the best scenes of all time. My number 1 is Tommy Dawkins from Big Wolf on Campus. A lot of people are probably like, really? That's your number 1? Big Wolf on Campus is my favorite TV show of all time. While the design of the werewolf may not be the best, the first episode, I thought it was really cool. The reason they changed it is because the actor that played Tommy, Brandon Quinn, was allergic to the makeup, so they had to change it. But I love it. It is one of the few times where we get to see a long-running story of a werewolf, the struggles of a teenage werewolf. And I think as cheesy and as kid-like as it is, it's very well written, it's very funny, and it has a lot of, you know, little Easter eggs from horror movies and other things, and it's just amazing. And it's a kid's show where they actually snuck in a clip from American Werewolf in London where someone's just beheaded. That was played on a kid's station. It's amazing. It's a great TV show, highly underrated. Nobody ever talks about it. But if you're interested in watching it, the entire show is on YouTube. Watch it, thank me later. And such a good opportunity to have young kids introduced into the world of supernatural things and horror movies. You know, they have, every episode is like a reference or whatever to another movie. And I fell in love with this show so hardcore. And it's, even though I always liked monsters and creepy things and Halloween and stuff like that, this show is without a doubt, I think, the reason I'm into a lot of the things that I'm into, and a lot of the reason I am the person I am. And it's where I get a lot of my humor. One day, I would love to do a video just talking about Big Wolf on Campus. I could make like 50 million videos talking about that show because I love it so dearly. So, be prepared for that. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know below who your favorite werewolf is. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll catch you nerds later.